What's good, everybody? Welcome to Bowler's Paradise. My name is Ben. I'm a USBC Silver Certified Coach, and today we are taking a look at the all-new Paragon Pearl from Track. As we fire it up, scroll on down and hit that subscribe button. Our favorite thing to do is giving you honest cross-brand comparisons of these new release bowling balls, and that's what you like, so be sure you hit that notification bell too so you don't miss out on the next one. The all-new Paragon Pearl from Track on paper is one of the strongest bowling balls I've ever owned. This piece leads off with the QR11 Pearl cover featuring that HK22 additive finished to 1500 grit polished out of the box. Inside this piece is the same core that was featured in the original Paragon and the purple hybrid, the aide 3.0 with its low 2.48 RG, pretty darn high 0.056 differential, and a really strong 0.15 intermediate diff. Seeing as how I didn't really match up with the Paragon hybrid, it was my hope that this updated cover stock would give me a better look, as I've actually loved almost every other track ball I've ever drilled. To aid in that hope, I went with a 4.5 by 4.5 by 3 2LS layout. This is a stronger, more even layout for me, as this line and the previous generations of the aide and the Paradox were all heavy rolling off the spot, so I wanted a layout that encouraged that while assuming that the HK22 and the cover would maintain the downlane angle necessary to get the corners out. And on the lanes, well, it turns out I probably didn't need any help in creating angle in the layout, because just like all the rest of the HK22 Pearls, this thing is crazy responsive to friction. The difference in cover stock from the hybrid and this Pearl is absolutely night and day, but the heavy roll in the aide is still there in droves. When I got the Paragon to the pocket, it buried itself through the pins and there was hardly any chance it wouldn't carry, but the catch was getting it to the pocket. If I missed outside, it hooked early and just ran left. If I missed too far in, it would grab at the end of the pattern too much and just go through the face. But for as much as I struggled to get all 10 to fall over, I think there's some insight even in those shots on when this ball is going to shine. First, I think of all the HK22 Pearls, this one will take surface changes most effectively. Looking back at the footage, all I could think was how I wanted to hit this Paragon Pearl with 2000 just to see what it would do if it slowed down more evenly in the mid lane. I remember throwing the original Paradox way back in 2017 thinking it was the heaviest rolling ball of all time, and this one does just the same. That means that getting behind the headpin is actually where I want to be with it, so I want to use some energy up before the end of the oil pattern and just get it to go forward. But just because that's what I wanted it to do doesn't mean that it can. It's pretty clear that this piece can combine effective motion from deep inside with a heavy roll through pins. So when I think of pairings that would work well with that, a few come to mind. The first is the original Stealth, which many would still argue is the best benchmark piece for all 7 Brunswick brands. It's still a low RG and high differential piece like the Paragon, but it is symmetric with a weaker cover, so they would actually be a pretty good 1-2 punch. The other would be the Deviate Activate, as it has a similar Pearl cover, but a much different high RG and low differential core, which would then have pretty much all of your bases covered. For our cross-brand comparisons, I first started with a clone from Rotogrip, and I don't think there's a better way to show how much of a difference cover stock makes than this. The reactions between the clone and the Paragon, even with having similar core numbers, are completely different, and both are good in their own right. The reason the clone looks better here is because it actually slows down sooner than the Paragon and blends out its strength more from front to back. But when the carry goes away, opening up from way left with the Paragon would be a much more effective option with a similar level of core strength. For the second comparison, I actually grabbed the Hammer Black Widow 2.0 hybrid, which you can see goes way more forward at the end of the pattern. It does most of what I actually wanted the Paragon Pearl to do, but doesn't roll anywhere near as heavy, so it deflects through the pins quite a bit. I'm not sure you'd have to carry both of these in the same bag, but the two are different. The question worth answering is which shape makes more sense to your eye and your game. But with that, here's my recommendations on the types of bowlers I think would match up well with the Paragon Pearl from Track. The first is players with a low axis of rotation. It's a heavy rolling ball, and those players already have a heavy roll off their hand. It won't match up all the time, but combining that with this updated cover could be deadly when it's right. The second is bowlers who bowl in a center that uses a high volume of oil. If you're always in the flood, I think this is one of the best pieces to add to your arsenal. Nothing is worse than watching your ball blow past the breakpoint, but this core and cover combination is about as sure of a bet as you can have that it will never do that, even in the slickest of conditions. All that said, the all-new Paragon Pearl from Track may have begun a new generation of performance for the brand while staying true to its proven roots, and you can pick this up today and much more at bowlersparadise.com. Be sure to use that discount code YouTube at checkout for free shipping. Thank you very much to the Dales Weston Lanes for letting us film this video. If you haven't yet, scroll down, like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell for more ball and product reviews, and as always, remember you guys, having the right ball in your hands, now that's a bowler's paradise. Peace.